Hey everybody, this is Opeb. Wanted to make a quick video about the Ayn Thor. I know I haven't done any videos about like these emulation devices in a little bit. I actually intended to do one about the 040 a little while back, this little freaky thing, but the video ended up getting like pretty badly corrupted and I was unable to do anything with it. And I know a lot of people have been doing these reviews of the device. I'm not really intending to do like a review. This will be a little bit more like just a few tips for some things that I've been doing to get them rolling with taking advantage of some of the dual screen stuff. And then maybe just a few growing pains that you may experience with the device, just to give you a heads up before hopefully they'll get these kind of patched up in the future to help out there. But starting on like a positive side of things, the dual screen aspect is so cool with this thing. I really love the way that this thing is utilized, and it works perfectly if you're on their normal quick step launcher. So when you first get in there, you're going to be able to navigate on the top. Anything you open on the top is going to go ahead and actually like start up on this side, select calendar. But then if you were to go ahead and do it on the bottom, it just opens up on the bottom. Super smooth, really awesome stuff. And then you can go to this task manager, does it up here. You can also do it from the gestures, comes up here. And you can do it if you have a binding set up. I actually did one with key mapper. Let me see what I set it to again. I think it was the double press on home. Yeah, so they have a home button that'll take you back, which you can use. For example, it'll do this, take you back to there. But if you set one up with the key mapper app, you can go ahead and do that as well. So that gives you a couple different options to do with it. Normally, I wouldn't actually use that key mapper. This one is pretty convenient with the task manager, but there is currently an issue. So what I prefer to do is use a launcher like, for example, Daijisho. This one will allow me to go ahead and just go into any game I want. Like, I'll have my, I didn't finish syncing up all the games, but for example, you can go in and you have your different like Switch games set up here. You can jump in and like play things. But if you are wanting to do that and not have to open it every single time, so for example, if you wanted to go and just have it be on startup, go straight into Daijisho, you can go into your settings and actually have it set as a launcher app. So we'll go ahead to apps, default apps, and home app. You're going to want to switch this over to Daijisho. And there's been a few YouTubers that have recommended this, and it's actually what I would recommend if you are primarily just playing games, you're done with your setup, you're going to be fine with that. That's okay. This will all still work, so you can still do things like opening up apps on the bottom, but you're going to run into an issue, unfortunately, and I've seen only one person who doesn't get this issue, and then when I tried what they said, it actually didn't happen to me. But then it immediately happened after, and I was unable to replicate doing it. So when you're on Daijisho as your launcher, you lose access to the task manager. You can no longer do that. So bottom screen, task manager, tapping that to bring up your apps, double tapping the binding I created, and swiping. All break when you are on the Daijisho launcher. So you may want to avoid that for now until they patch that. Some people were saying the apps themselves are going to need to be what's patched. I don't know. This works like the bottom works perfectly on everything, but it's this function specifically that's breaking. It's nothing else about it that breaks. So I'm not sure if they're going to be able to adjust that. But even when you switch back to quick step, this function stays broken. Except for the swipe, I think the swipe comes back. Yeah, swipe comes back, but the task. Oh, wait. Oh, it came back. How did I do that? I don't know how I did that. Oh, maybe it's doing like a ghost touch. I might be wrong. Let's see. Well, I mean, it fixed it now, but let's try it again. Okay. Normally, what I was having to do is actually restart the Thor completely to do that. Let's give it another shot. Maybe we can make something happen here. Can we force it? No. No, we can't. See, and that's the weird thing, right? When you're back onto it, you'll actually hear it vibrate, too. You'll hear it do the vibration where it is trying to open the task manager, and it just refuses to allow it. So that's just something to keep in mind. I don't know if Ayn's going to patch it. I really hope they do. I've seen a lot of people bringing it up in their Discord. But apparently, I guess this does fix. Yeah, okay. Maybe sometimes it'll fix if you switch back to quick step. So that's fine that way. I don't know. But the reason why it's a big issue for me is because navigation on the bottom does become kind of a problem if you're unable to do that. Also, this just broke. Something on the bottom broke. Okay, so that might be another reason not to constantly swap back and forth between those. But I'm going to go ahead and restart that and hopefully be able to show some of the other things off that I was about to talk about. My bad. This is a little impromptu, but yeah, that was kind of the biggest, I would say, like a growing pain with the device. That is just kind of annoying, you know. I don't like to launch RetroArch to go in to launch a ROM. I prefer to do it from a launcher. You'll have, you know, the nice art and everything all laid out for you. But anyway, one of the other things that I like to do, so for example, I actually will go back into here. We'll go into Daiji Show. And one of the things that was very touted with this handheld was basically the ability to have a game up top and then do a guide on the bottom. But I haven't really seen anybody recommend good apps for that. For a little bit, I was actually using the browser. I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe we can do, you know, Brave browser. And I have it set to go to my walkthroughs. But one of the things here for example, I'm playing Xenogears on here. It doesn't like to save the spot that you're at. The bookmark is kind of inconvenient. And for example, if I was to close this out and come back and then reopen it, you see how it starts me at the top? It's not saving my place on here. It can kind of cause issues for you if you're coming back to a game often. So one of the things that I saw, I was Googling around and somebody recommended, I've used F-Droid before, but there's an F-Droid app you can get called Librera FD. And I actually went ahead and downloaded the Xenogears GameFAQs walkthrough that was set up on there. And then I went ahead and saved it as a HTML file. Librera is able to do HTML, EPUB, .txt, PDF, all these different files. You can use any of them on here. But what it does is it saves your place, and it lets you create multiple bookmarks. So like I have a quick bookmark set here for an earlier page, and this one actually has me for exactly where I was at in the story last time I was playing. So it's super, super good for games if you're trying to actually go back through and make progress on them. One of the other things that's really cool is there's these screen lock. So I have it set to top screen lock. And, you know, sometimes you might be concerned that you may accidentally be jumping around between different screens that might have controls. So, for example, this does have a control if you are sliding, but it doesn't unfocus from the top because I have top screen lock. So I can actually hit this, and it's going to go straight into the game. It's going to keep playing on there, even if I'm sliding around down here. And these hold in place. The thing I really like with this as well is, it might be kind of hard to see here, but it does have a page count, 87 out of 299 pages. So I'm not doing like this imprecise sliding. I have a very static guide on here, and I don't have to worry about like, oops, I accidentally scrolled wrong. Oh no, I messed up. Oh no, the D-pad touched it. Like all that stuff is not going to cause an issue. And if you do happen to, the only thing that doesn't lock on the screen lock is, for example, the back. Like I have back set as my RetroArch menu. But if you do tap here, it will unfocus the back. So you see that? It brought up a menu on there rather than my RetroArch menu. That's the only thing that's going to disconnect. Controller-wise, this stuff is all going to stay locked to the top. So you're never going to have an issue of like, oops, I accidentally hit arrow key. Oh, no, stop doing that. That's all going to work perfectly. So I definitely recommend this app. That's my preferred with that. And you can have as many walkthroughs as you want set up on there. What I did is I download them as an HTML on my computer, and then I have it set to sync thing to the folder that this is reading on here. And let me go back. We'll do close book and go to folder. And you'll see, like, I have one for the Summon Night Swordcraft story. I've been playing that on GBA as well. I can go into that anytime, get that started as a walkthrough, be able to use that. So I just thought that was something really interesting that people can get set up. And similar, you can go Task Manager, you know, you jump out of there. If you're ever feeling like you want to play, you know, your PC games, you can go ahead and do that on here. Perfectly fine. Let me just move this real quick. I'm sorry, I don't want you guys to... Just in case if something weird pops up. Yeah, there we go. Just bring it up. Bring it up on there. But it does work for screen lock as well. So, for example... yeah, it looks like nothing that'll give me TOS on here. For example, you can have it go into like a walkthrough on the bottom, Artemis up top, play a game perfectly fine, like no lag, you know, jump in, play one of my favorite games I've been playing recently, Clad X3, jump in there, you can play that on your Thor and it works perfectly fine. This thing has a really good Wi-Fi, I can't remember if it's Wi-Fi 6 or Wi-Fi 7, either way, very, very responsive. You know, you're not going to have any issues playing your Artemis games on here. I know a lot of people are also real big on WinLater and GameHub and Game Native. Those also work as well if you prefer to install. Me, I don't really take stuff around. I think the only GameHub games I would do are maybe like Fields of Mystria, maybe a few like lighter games. I actually know Cladden works really well on GameHub. I've done that before, but like this is one that I just prefer to stream because if I'm at home, I'll just... You know, it runs better. It won't be getting like 40 FPS. It'll just be solid 60 from my PC. But this stuff all works perfectly, and it's fantastic. Like, this is just such a game changer in a lot of ways for just playing games and like killing time and stuff. One of the other great things you can do with the launcher is if you Like YouTube, you can go ahead and have that on the bottom as well. One of the apps I use is Newpipe, so you can check with that. And that'll go ahead and, I don't know what this is. I'm not going to click on one of them. Maybe, can I find my own video? Let's see. One moment. I'm kind of embarrassed about the recommendations on here. I don't want you guys knowing what I watch on YouTube. One second. Oh, here we go. This might be a good idea. So I got like me on here. They got my Twitch stream. I can watch myself, and then I can also just be playing a game. So like I can start up a gacha game. I got Blue Archive on there, and it has all the same functions as before. You do have the option to do floating icon maximized transparency, or maybe I should say minimized, I suppose. If you go in here, floating icon set that to 0. That's going to allow this. So this is not going to show up on the side and look ugly. Let me shut this thing up. And you can have that going. It has all the same stuff from any previous Ayn device. Retroid usually shares with it as well, so you can do your key adapter, set up like gacha game bindings for games that don't have stuff, be able to mash through your dailies and things like that. You can also do screenshots at any time. I usually tend to do that since there's not enough buttons on here to have a shortcut like on some devices. I also like to do the profiles. So one of the things that you can do for any device, and the reason I like it on here is because you can just kind of skip around through these. Don't have to worry about the different pop-ups on that. But like, for example, Odin, if you're going to be playing Switch, right? I have this set to do a profile. Immediately goes into the high performance mode because I want it to run at its fastest for Switch games. So let's play something that won't get me sent to hell. They'll blast me with the demonetized beam. I don't know, what's something that runs? Maybe this. We'll play Mado Monogatari, and I checked this game out recently. Really cool. Definitely support, buy it, of course. I'm hoping that it'll come to PC as well, but went ahead and got the Switch copy and then, ripped my thing out of there. Smooth this over. Skip! But yeah, this game works. And you see 30 FPS. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of performance, but honestly, has been running super well. Basically everything just kind of works. It's honestly really phenomenal. I don't know if this is a testament to Eden being better. It's been quite a while since I've done Switch emulation on Android, so it could just be that. Because I've had other 8 Gen 2 devices, and they've had various issues here and there where some stuff's choppy, some stuff's like shader glitching, and things like this. Pokemon ZA, they all run super, super well. I think the only issue I've run into was Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. That game, I did have a lot of problems. It doesn't work for me. I'm not sure why, and it's worked on 8 Gen 2s, it worked on Snapdragon Elite, I believe, whatever's in the Pocket Ace, this little guy, which I also did not make a video on, sorry about that. But this one is able to do like all these Switch games with like no problem, and it is awesome. People made plenty of really good guides on this sort of stuff, to elaborate a little bit better. Oh, new Atelier game too. This one works really, really well. Yeah, these are just kind of the things to consider, I guess, with this device. You're getting so much power, you don't really need more power, and you're able to do so much. So really, if they just fix up these little issues, Daijisho, ESDE, in the future when they do ISU and different things like that, like if those either make patches themselves to work with this bottom screen and fix this task manager thing, or what I'm assuming it should be Ayn that needs to fix it. If they fix compatibility with all the launchers, I mean, this thing may be in the running for just like the best best retro handheld I think on the market. Like, I know for me at least, some people see it hyperbolic. Some people are like, well, this hobby never ends. Some people are like, we're going to get the next one. You're going to end up buying Thor 2. I could see myself stopping here, to be totally honest with you guys. Like, there's been so many different things. And of course, this isn't even to get into, what do you call it? DS. DS works awesome on here. I haven't done a whole ton of it, but it is very, very functional. Let me see. What was the game I played on here? We did Avalon Code. I got it set up to do DS on here. You can have it. There we go. Skipping through there. It works on the bottom. You can touch your screen. Top, well, you can't touch top, but yeah, you can have this thing. I think it's at 6x resolution right now. You know, really, really just looks gorgeous for 3D. You know, DS did have a lot of 3D games with this. And then get your full bottom screen taken advantage of. If you want, you can put it in proper resolution too. I kind of don't really care, but you know, it's up to you. Just different things like that. Comfort-wise, I know people talk about getting the grip. I tend to just hate TPU grips and things like that. I don't really buy those, so avoided it myself. But you know, I've heard that those make it extremely comfortable for people with like bigger hands and things like that. Let's go ahead and save. Get that thing put out of there, and I'll go ahead and exit this one. Yeah, and that just works kind of seamless. It just goes ahead to cover up that bottom part. There's a whole bunch of other things. I can maybe do emulation showcase if there's games that might interest people. What was also... Oh yeah, this was the other thing that I thought was pretty funny. If you are a nut job, you can... Oh, is this one top only? No. Alright, fine. Yeah, if you're a nut job, you can play things like... I guess because it's a vertical only game. You can play Umamusume on the top and play a different gacha on the bottom. We have Wuwa over here. And get our half anniversary login, get all that stuff done. And one of the things I actually noticed is it's a little awkward, but you can start it from here and go ahead and force landscape. And it's just like on a tablet, it forces Umamusume to go into landscape mode, and then it's playable this way. And you see all my shortcuts and stuff set up. I actually have it where you can mash through a career. My club is not very happy about me doing this because they want me to actually play. But you can do things like binding this, play a tapping game on the bottom, and skip through here with just the Y button. You can literally just not play and just keep hitting the Y button on Umamusume. And it's actually going to skip you through. It's going to keep resting and skipping, and resting and skipping, and it hits the bottom choices. So if you're pressed for time, this is one of the fastest ways to do an Umamusume career for the day. I think I timed my dailies. I was able to clock in at about, like, it took me about 4 or 5 minutes to finish the daily for the day. Not recommended for people who have like busy clubs and will get mad if you're not competitive, but very recommended for me if you hate playing this game without an auto. And meanwhile this is going on, you have another game going on the bottom too. Like, they showed these off, and you know, sometimes when they show those on these big Ayn showcases and they're like, oh, you can play 2 gacha games at once, it does feel kind of fake. You're like, I don't think that's real, but you can do it, and it's really silly. I'd maybe not recommend this combination, but like, it runs. You know, you have enough overhead to do this in a surprising way. But yeah, like I said, maybe don't pick one of these like 3D games like Wuwa, but just like to showcase this is something kind of difficult to play, and it's working perfectly fine with both 3D games. And all the same, you could also do sorry, what's the one I'm thinking of? We'll skip out there, and then I think is it X and then A? And then back to match and Y. You could do it maybe with a game that's a little more menu focused if you're into that kind of thing. You can do YouTube, you can do reading, one of those other things. I don't think I'll show it because I don't want to jump scare you guys and get me, you know, blasted into a ban, but you can read manga on there, you can Discord on the bottom, talk to people, you know, the possibilities with it are pretty varied. You know, you can really make it your own, and I think that's probably the coolest thing about it too, because in every handheld, you know, I always try to carve out my own little niche with it. I'm like, let me do something interesting and just kind of weird here. Shoot, you know, if you're learning a language, put your flashcards on the bottom, do a flashcard every couple times you kill something in a game or whatever. Like, there's, you know, a ton of different ways you can go about it. It's honestly, sky's the limit with that. Definitely just so wild to me that Ayn was able to kind of sweep the rug out from underneath Ayaneo, release this before the Ayaneo even got to anybody, and then have the software in such like an awesome state. Like, it's genuinely really crazy. Oh, and it also cancels out the race thing. Like, you're literally just mashing Y. But like, it's it's really crazy to me that they were able to do this so quickly, make it so well, and really the only problem is just that third-party launchers are having issues right now. But if you use them, and a lot of people already do this, ESDE, a lot of people use it as a separate app because it's so clunky as a front end. I like to do those things that set up like launching things in the front end to go straight into games and go straight into apps and things like that, keep it separate. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that, it's already over. I'm done. Dailies completed. Hate me if you want. I don't feel like doing them. Let's see if we get out of here. Yeah, honestly, they're probably gonna kick me, but that's understandable. I do the bare minimum in this game, to be honest. Maybe I'll apologize later, or maybe I'll do my run. They were just asking me to do one run a day. Not that that's really related to the floor. Sorry. But yeah, you know, definitely let me know what you guys think. If you got any interesting ideas for just like different apps and things that you would want to do, you know, whatever you're thinking of. I was hoping that e-reader idea helps people out, just because I saw people mention GameFAQs, I saw them mention using a browser, and it was incredibly inconvenient. Then as soon as I set it up as an ebook, I was like, man, this is awesome, phenomenal stuff. Oops. No, we'll do this one. Just gonna finish the daily out just to show you guys, like, this is how quick you can go through. Be done with your commitments for these different games while you're doing other stuff. I don't know, maybe it's bad. Maybe we'll see the consequences of all this ADHD on our games, but for now I just think it's pretty cool. Oh, you can also do, I know people mention watching Garfield and things like that, but you can also, you can get your Plex set up, or your Jellyfin, or whatever it is that people use now, and you can watch your shows, watch your anime, watch your movies, different things like that, you know. Honestly, I think I'm going to start doing that for, like, kind of during some RPGs, get some of the anime that I've been meaning to watch, not out of the way, I don't like to look at it like that, but, you know, make some movement on it. Oops. Go up. Oh, and then X. Yeah. Up and X. Bam, 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 bam. Race again. And X, up, X. And you can use any binding you want. These are just mine. X. And X, up, X. And done. And that was all of my dailies, I think. Go all the way back. Let's check if it's all done. Claim all. Look at that. All completed. All while mashing on this thingy. With just a few occasional things to, you know, get that fixed up. But, yeah, besides that... Oh, music, internet browsing... what were other things I could think of? I'm not sure. I haven't been thinking of too many creative uses for anything else. But there's also this stuff, the independent, like, sound adjustment. That's also super cool. Look at that. You just got one game making noise. Umamusume stopped. You can also shut that one up. Turn on the real song. You can also do the brightness. They got this fixed up pretty quickly with a dual screen issue on the OTA, so no issues there. Gets real dark. Gets real bright. Very nice OLED panel. Super, you know, just great looking. All the colors are fantastic. And then these things. Just lots of great stuff. Get these closed out. And just kind of save for the end. Yeah, that's, oh, right. I guess I didn't show 3DS. We can do that real quick. Just for proof, right? I don't know if I think I configured it. I don't remember. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, yeah. You see it on the bottom there? We're configured. I think this is a game that's normally pretty hard to run. Let's see if it goes through here. Oh no, did I break it? Uh-oh. Okay, maybe I broke that one. Sorry about that, guys. What's something that's a little easier to run? Maybe Etrian Odyssey Nexus? This is a game I know works. Or should work. Game? Wonder what happened there. Uh-oh. That's... We good? No, they were fine. Maybe Fire Emblem Fates? Let's see if this works. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's a game that's got movement, right? And you see it's got the bottom. It did it at proper scaling rather than bad. And this one will come up. Press any button. Continue. Save. Continue. And it's should show properly here. There we go. Okay, here's a properly dual screen game with 3DS, just to show that it works. Yeah, you know, this is gonna be powerful enough to run. You know, you can run anything on your 3DS wise. I think this is 4x resolution. I'm pretty sure I did it like set it forget it style, but I might be wrong. What do we do it on? Graphics. Oh yeah, 4x. Yeah. So you got like 4x resolution. You gotta play this game, another game I was gonna play Persona Q2, different things like that, you know, just lots of cool 3DS stuff. Plenty of great games, Pokemon, whatever else. SMT games, Strange Journey, Redux, definitely recommend. Radiant Historia is phenomenal. Wanted to play Legend of Legacy, different things like that. So, but yeah, I think I'll go ahead and end it here because I'm running out of things to say and ideas to use. But basically, to summarize, dual screen gachas, Artemis, Guide, RetroArch, Guide, PS2, GameCube, whatever guide, Switch guide, all gonna work. You can use the Librera FD app from F-Droid to go ahead and get that. I don't know if it'll list it on here, but oh yeah, there it is. Librera Reader. You can also get Newpipe. Newpipe is a great app for YouTube. Will allow you to do all that stuff. Sync thing. Oh yeah, I have this set up for sync thing, so we got all that working properly to move my files around. Get all my saves synced up with everybody, be able to play on everything. And yeah, just, you know, if you have any questions, definitely let me know, guys. If you have anything that you think would be cool to see, maybe I'll do that. I did stream this a little bit on Twitch when I first got it. My Twitch streams are a little weird, not super like these, but if you do want to check them out, twitch.tv/Opeb if you want to see more, just like me playing games and stuff. Maybe I'll do this on stream some more, I'm not sure. I think probably stick to videos and honestly just playing games on it, because playing games has been really fun. I made a lot of progress on Xenogears. But I'm going to shut up now. I've been rambling for way too long. Goodbye.